Hello Capricorn, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with 30,000 clients worldwide and 40 years experience in the business as a teacher of astrology, meditation and reincarnation. I've got 150 YouTube videos up there now on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Capricorn, to this particular analysis of your cycles for July and August 2015. What I'm going to do for you is to first of all look at the movements of Mars and Saturn through the houses of your horoscope. They bring stresses and tensions and also hurdles and obstacles to overcome. You might say to yourself, well, I don't really want one of those things because I want to only know about the good things. Well, it's actually you, Capricorn, that has set up those hurdles and that's created those stresses and tensions there, because by handling the stresses and tensions and by overcoming and jumping hurdles, we develop qualities, principles and values within ourselves in which we reckon that we lack. So I'll tell you what's coming up on a timeline basis from the 1st of July right the way through to the end of August as far as those two bodies are concerned. Then I'll look at the fun things for you, Capricorn, the movements of the Sun, Venus and Jupiter as they focus your personality upon particular areas of your horoscope. And Venus brings love and social activities and romance and happiness into your life and affection and abundance. And Jupiter brings expansion and growth and travel and development of your understanding as it moves through the houses of your horoscope. You know what, Capricorn, you are a very practical person and down to earth, but a lot of people think that you're very ambitious and keen to get ahead in life and really don't have a spiritual aspect to your nature, but that's not true. Even though you're very practical and down to earth and you've got a good organisational ability and leadership qualities, you do have a spiritual part to yourself as well. You earn money, Capricorn, through a variety of different means, stock market and different things connected with computers and new age technology and so forth. So this is what you are doing, is earning money from a variety of different sources throughout life, and you pride yourself on your originality of being able to discover ways and means of bringing in the dollar. Now you're very, very psychic, Capricorn, very psychic, very sensitive, easily affected by the moods of those around you. You get a lot of strange feelings that go through you that you find hard to understand and comprehend. You love the water, you're attracted towards the water, you love walking around near the water or driving around near the water, Capricorn. You seem to have a dominant side to your nature in the home. One of your parents wore a uniform, dust coat or overalls in their job, and they were very dominant parents as well, so you had a dominant streak implanted into you, what you might say, to do with the family and the domestic side of life. You can have a sudden change of residence that's based on impulse that you turn around later and regret at some time in your life. You can be rather possessive of loved ones. You can be possessive in relationships and possessive of your children. You, Capricorn, are primarily a spiritual being. You are not a human being with a spiritual component. You are a spiritual being expressing yourself in consciousness at the human level at this stage in your development, but you are primarily a spiritual being, and all of us are faced with tests in life through the houses of our horoscope. So what I'm going to do for you now is to lay out the movements of these bodies through the houses of your horoscope, and as they move through there, they precipitate events and conditions into your life, Capricorn. And they bring about tests and trials in certain ways and growth and expansion in certain ways as well. So just sit back and relax, Capricorn, and we'll have some fun together, eh? I'm going to put it on a timeline for you, Capricorn, so I'll tell you where the planets are at the 1st of July, and then when they make a change into a different house, I'll tell you when that comes up. So it's on a timeline. Now we start off with Mars Mars is creating a lot of stress and tensions for you from the 1st of July until I tell you that it makes a change in regard to relationships. Your spouse, your partner, is a bit dominant and assertive in their nature during this period from the 1st of July onwards. There can be conflicts and stresses and tensions in your life focusing through legal matters, court cases and things like that. There can be back trouble and kidney trouble, and there can be arguments and conflicts in relationships, okay? And dealings with the general public, you might have some dissertation there with the general public as well. Mars makes a change, Capricorn, into the 8th house of your horoscope on the 9th of August and remains there then until the balance of the period that we're looking at, July and August 2015. So for the balance of the period from the 9th of August onwards, Mars is in the 8th house of your horoscope. That brings a heightening of your sex drive. It brings a lot of inner stress and tension that you don't openly discuss with other people. It brings stresses and tensions into your life, focusing through joint finances that you share with any partners. And there can be a lot of stresses and tensions in your life that you don't openly discuss with other people. Now, Saturn is retrograde from the 1st of July onwards until I tell you that it makes a change. When Saturn is retrograde, it doesn't impact so much upon the house that it's sitting in, but it impacts negatively upon the houses that Saturn rules. And in your case, Saturn rules the 1st and 2nd houses. So therefore, you've got obstacles and obstructions that you've set up for yourself from the 1st of July onwards until I tell you that it makes a change, to do with personal self-initiated efforts, things that you've commenced and started out of your own initiative. There's obstacles and obstructions and hurdles there for you to jump, and frustrations and difficulties for you to do with finances. And not just finances, but also your sense of security is impacted, so that you just don't feel so safe physically, emotionally and mentally, with Saturn impacting negatively upon the 2nd house of your horoscope, okay? Now then, Saturn goes direct, Capricorn, on the 4th of August for the balance of this period. From the 4th of August onwards, Saturn goes direct, and it's impacting negatively, bringing up hurdles and so forth to do with the 11th house of your horoscope. The 11th house is the house of friends, group activities, club activities, and other people's children. So other people's children, there can be illness for other people's children, illness involving friends, frustrations and obstructions to do with group activities and group purpose and design. And that continues now until the end of this particular period that we're looking at. Now I'm going to look, Capricorn, at the movements of the Sun and Venus and also Jupiter as they go through the houses of your horoscope. Again, it's on a timeline for you. Now we start off on the 1st of July with the Sun in the 7th house of your horoscope, seeing a focus of your personality upon your partner and your spouse. Okay, if you have a spouse, there's a focus upon their interests and their needs and their wants and their desires and their choices. And there's joint activities going on as well, so that there's joint focus there upon personal initiatives that you share together. And Venus is in the 8th house of your horoscope to start the month off with. With Venus in the 8th house of your horoscope, there's a great deal of interest in the mystical and deeper side of life. There's a boost financially through partners and in joint finances. And there's a heightening of your sex drive, and there's a great deal of interest, Capricorn, in the mysteries of life and the secrets of life after death and things like that. Now then, the first change that we have happens on the 19th of July, Capricorn, when Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. That brings a lot of social activities with people from overseas. People could visit. You could visit people who were born overseas. You can end up travelling. It's a good time for travel with Venus in the 9th house. It's also a good time for you for expanding your understanding upon philosophy and the deeper aspects of life and the spiritual and religious side of life, okay? On the 24th of July, Capricorn, the Sun moves into the 8th house of your horoscope and for 30 days focuses your consciousness upon inner transformation and change, a desire, a tremendous urge within yourself to transform yourself and to overcome hurdles and obstacles within yourself. There's a lot of deep introspection and reflection when the Sun is in the 8th house of your horoscope for 30 days, and there's a focus of your personality upon joint finances. The next change that we have is on the 27th of July when Venus goes retrograde. Now, when Venus is retrograde, Capricorn, it doesn't impact negatively upon the houses that Venus rules. It impacts in a way that has you overdoing things to do with those houses, okay? Now, Venus in your case rules the 5th house and the 10th house. So with Venus impacting upon the 5th house of your horoscope, you're overdoing it on the social side of life, probably eating too much rich food out there in restaurants and places of amusement. And there's a great deal of indulgence there with children, so you're spoiling your children and having a good time doing so. And there's a great deal of activity there on the romantic and social side of your life. If you're in the market for a relationship, there's a lot of activity there. Romance, love, the social side of life brings a bit of an overabundance and overdoing it, okay? Now, it also impacts upon the 10th house of your horoscope, so matters relating to career and business and your ambitions in life. You can have a lot of extra social activities involving those that you're in the career with or in business with. There can be overdoing it on the social side of life with parents if they play a prominent part in your life. Now, the next move that we have, Capricorn, is on the 23rd of August, and this is the last one that we have with this particular batch, as the Sun moves into the 9th house of your horoscope on the 23rd of August and remains there for 30 days. That sees a focus of your personality upon expansion, travel, growth, and philosophy, and expanding your understanding about the mysteries of life. Dream experiences come to the fore as well. They'll be activated. Now, Jupiter is starting off in the 1st of July in the 8th house of your horoscope. So there's a tremendous urge within yourself, Capricorn, to expand your understanding about life after death and the mysteries of life. You've got a tremendous urge within yourself to improve your joint finances that you share with any partner in your life, and to unravel some of the mysteries about life after death and things like that. So it's a very mysterious period for you with Jupiter in the 8th house, bringing benefits to do with joint finances, expansion of your understanding about the mysteries of life. And then on the 12th of August, Jupiter moves into the 9th house of your horoscope and remains there for the balance of this period up until the end of August. With Jupiter in the 9th house of your horoscope, it's going to bring a tremendous urge to expand yourself to new horizons. Now, that can come through travel. It's a time when you can travel and with facility. It's a time when you can have a lot of happiness there through in-laws on a social level, but expanding your understanding about the philosophies of life and the deeper meaning of life and adult education and things like that. That's a time for you to expand, Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, you are to be congratulated for being interested in the science of astrology. Why? Because astrology is the most scientific presentation of hidden truth in the world today. Now, science poo-poos astrology and says that the planets can have no impact whatsoever upon life here on Earth. Well, I've proven that to be a fallacy in 30,000 cases with my clients, and you can see some of the feedback in the testimonials in my website. By you being interested in astrology, it gives you an opportunity to have your horoscope done by a professional astrologer. And I do 3 horoscopes in line with this. You are primarily a spiritual being, Capricorn, and you've got eternal life. You can never ever die. God and Goddess love you, and they know your name, and they've given you the gift of eternal life. And the human level of consciousness is only a transition stage into higher levels of consciousness beyond the human level altogether. But what you're out to do is to get the motivation to be able to delve into all of these things and to find out what are the secrets of life and how can I find out about these. So there's 3 horoscopes that I offer. First of all, there's horoscope number 1. That's thrown in free of charge with the order of horoscope number 2. I'll tell you about horoscope number 2 in a moment, but horoscope number 1 looks at your horoscope individually. It's not just a generality that you get from other websites about your sun sign and all that sort of stuff. It's something to do with your personal horoscope, so it's done from your personal horoscope depending on your time of birth, place of birth and so forth. And from that I do your progress moon cycles, and I also do your progress planetary cycles over the next 30 months. And I tell you what's coming up as far as events and conditions in your life are concerned. And that's laid out in a printed format, a 10-page printed format, thrown in free of charge when you order horoscope number 2. Horoscope number 2 goes into a lot more depth about you and the gains that you've made from past lifetimes. So I tell you what sort of qualities, principles and values, Capricorn, that you've developed within yourself from past lifetimes, and what qualities, principles and values that you're working on in this particular lifetime, okay? Now that's a lot of information there in a 20-page printout, all about you and you individually. So it gives you an idea of how you've been going in past lives, what qualities that you've developed within yourself, what you're working on in this life, and what hurdles and obstacles that you've set up for yourself to jump. Now what price can you put, Capricorn, on getting to be forewarned about dangers there ahead of you, and you can avert those dangers, save yourself from making bad choices and decisions in life for the sake of $10. And then of course there's my personal reading of your horoscope. That one is horoscope number 3, and this is with my voice, and I bring my 40 years of experience to bear upon your life and telling you all about yourself. When you've had changes in your residence, changes in your job, journeys overseas, bouts of sickness, deaths in the family, accidents, even where you've got scars on your body, Capricorn. And when I do that, and it's accurate, that has a massive impact upon your consciousness, okay? So horoscope number 3 is well worthwhile getting done. I go into the future for you for the next 3 years and tell you all the areas where you can have difficulties and stresses and tensions, and how you can take full advantage of the astrological cycles that you have ahead of you, okay? So once again, you are primarily, Capricorn, a spiritual being. You've lived dozens of lifetimes before to get where you are today. It's time now for you to take a gigantic step forward in the expansion of your consciousness. And I have 36 CDs out of 2 of my books. The first one of these is called What Really Matters. It's a book about astrology, meditation and reincarnation. And I take you in and out of meditation time and time again. Those 12 CDs out of that book are available free of charge to download from the free CD page of my website. And when you order horoscope number 3, if you can afford it, the horoscope number 3 entitles you to go on after you've heard those first 12 CDs into intensives 2 and 3 out of my second book, Coming Home: An Eternal Journey. And that covers things in a lot more depth about quantum physics, the holographic nature of reality and processing and programming, and how you can become more successful in your life to create the reality that you want to create consciously instead of subconsciously as you're doing now. Subscribe to my videos because I'm pumping out new videos all the time, and get stuck into those CDs out of my first book, What Really Matters. They're available free of charge. I look forward to working further with you should you decide to have your horoscope number 2 or 3 done by me. And let's get you, Capricorn, fulfilling your dreams, wishes, aspirations and success in all areas of your life. Let's help you to develop your qualities, principles and values, and to become more of who you really are. And I look forward to working further with you. My website address is always in the description of each of my videos, so you can readily visit the website and see what's on offer there at any particular time, okay? So I look forward to working further with you should you decide to go further, and wish you well. Thank you.